So in our previous class, we talked about variable, expression, and equation. And we said that expression is a combination of numbers, variables, and operators without an equal sign. But if it doesn't have an equal sign, how do we solve it? That is what we want to learn in this very lesson. So we are going to start with example, and example 1 says simplify 3x plus 5x. This is quite straightforward. Just pick out the values we have there. We have 3 and we have what? 5. Then this sums up to what? 8. Just bring down the x, and then we have what? 8x. That is what? A simplification of this what? Expression. While the example 1 was quite straightforward, let's see how this example 2 looks. It says simplify 2y plus 3 minus y plus 7. So the best way to handle cases like this is picking the variables to one part. So we have 2y, it has a variable and have y there, right? Then minus y, correct? And then we have plus 3 and we have what? Plus 7. Now 2y minus y. So it's like saying you have 2 minus 1, because this y here simply means 1y, but mathematically we cannot write it as 1y. It's amateur to do that, so we just say y. So whenever you see y without a value, it simply means 1y. You understand? So 2y minus y is going to give us y, correct? Because this is 2 and here is 1, so we have y there. Then we have plus, and we have 3 plus 7 equals what? 10. So this is the solution of simplifying example 2. So we have another one, example 3, which says simplify 2 into the bracket of x plus 4. Interesting. So this time what you do, you have to expand. I think this is going to be another topic for us, expansion. So how do you expand? You have 2 here outside the bracket. It's going to multiply every term in the bracket, keeping in mind the operator we have there. So 2 multiply the first term in the bracket, 2 multiply the second term in the bracket. If there are more terms also in the bracket, you continue to multiply. So let's say 2 multiply x is going to be 2 times x, correct? You have plus here, you bring down the plus. 2 multiply 4 is 2 times what? 4. So 2 multiply x is 2x, and then 2 multiply 4 is 8. So the value of this expression after simplification is what? 2x plus 8. So I'll leave you with a very simple challenge which says simplify 3 into the bracket of a plus 2 plus 4a. Your final answer is going to be 7a plus 6. So I want to see your answer in the comment section. So let's see another wrap on simplification. So let's use sentence this time around. So 5 more than a number. So we can bring in a variable here to represent the number. So we can say 5 more than a word. A number is going to be, okay, let's say we pick the number to be x, right? And then 5 more, so we're now going to add what? 5. This is simply the explanation of what this sentence. 5 more than a number, so the number is x, we don't know the number, then 5 more. So the next one is twice a number. Twice a number, pick it one by one, decreased by 7. So twice a number decreased by what? 7. So we have the number to be a variable, right? So if the number is a variable like n, then 2n is going to be twice the number, right? So we're going to be n times 2, which is equal to what? 2n decreased by 7. So we're going to remove what? 7. So this is what the explanation of this expression, sentence rather. Now the last one says total cost of t numbers of biro, pencil, if one costs $5. So if we don't know the total cost of the numbers of pen, but let's see, it's a total cost of t numbers of pen. So we have t numbers of pen, but one pen costs $5. So we multiply the total numbers of pen by what? The cost of each pen. So we are going to have what? 5t. So if one pen costs $5, let's say you are looking for 10 pen, it's going to be 5 times 10, it's going to be 15. But since we don't know the numbers of pen, we represent it by what? The variable. So assuming 3 pen cost p, we don't know the price, the cost of the pen each, and a notebook costs $4. So if you want to buy a pen and a notebook, the cost of buying the pen and the notebook is 3 pen here, right? Say 3 pen cost p each. So each pen costs what? P, right? So 3 of the pen is going to be 3 times what? Each, which is p. And the notebook costs what? $4. So we add the 4. So what we have here is going to be 3p plus 4. Understood? Clear. So we move forward to equation again. Now in equation there are different types of equation. The most popular ones are the linear equation and the non-linear equation. But in this very example, since we're beginning this lesson, we're going to start with the linear equations. And a very typical example are the ones that we've used in our previous example. But let's take one example to demonstrate or show what a linear equation is. So this is a very simple example of a linear equation. Now it says x plus 5 equal 9. Remember what an equation is. An equation is an expression with what? An equal sign. So if we have to simplify this, we are going to have x equal 9 minus 5, and x becomes what? 4. This is the most simplest example we can treat on equation. In equation, sometimes you might need to divide after adding, sometimes you might need to expand in equation. So in this example 2, it says simplify 3x minus 4 equal 11. So like I said, sometimes you have to divide. So we have 3x equals what? 11 minus 4. So 3x equals what? 11 minus 4 is going to give us what? Sorry, it is 11 plus 4, which is what? 15. And then we have 3x equals 15 again. So we have to divide both sides by what? 3. So we have 3 and we have 3. 3 we cancel here and we are left with x. And then 3 here is going to be what? 5. So this is the value of this variable. So we have this third example which says simplify 2 into the bracket of x plus 3 equated to what? 10. So remember what I said, sometimes you might need to divide, sometimes you might need to add, sometimes you need to expand also. So in this very example, you first of all have to expand by opening the bracket. So it's going to be 2 times every term in the bracket. So we have 2x plus 2 times 3 is going to give us 6 equal 10. So we have 2x equals, you have 10 here, you move 6 to this way, it becomes negative 6, and 2x becomes what? 4, right? So you divide now by 2, so you have what? 2 here is going to leave us with x, and 2 here is going to give us 2. So x is equal to what? 2. So this is a very simple example of linear equation. So we're going to use a real life example to demonstrate it in the next slide. So we have this problem in mathematics. It is called word problem. So the question says a taxi charges $5 plus $2 per kilometer. If a ride cost $17, how many kilometers did he travel? So let's solve this. So a ride cost $5. So a ride is $5, right? And per kilometer, you have an additional what? $2, and total ride equals what? $17. Now you want to know how many kilometers the person traveled to incur the total ride of what? $17. So let's go with how we have been putting things together in expression, variable, and equation. So let's say the total ride, the total kilometer the person traveled is let's say represent it, the total kilometer be represented by x. So we have the initial ride price, which is $5, plus $2, but we don't know the total kilometer the person travels, so we represent it by what? X. So 2 times what? X. And the total drive, the cost of the ride is what? $17. So we have 17 here. So we have put this now into what? A kind of equation, but still not yet the equation, because we have this here which is to be resolved. So we have 5 plus 2 times x is going to give us what? 2x equals 17. So this is now what? An equation. From here you can easily solve it. So if we have it 5 and then 2x, so what we have there is what? 2x equals 17. So we have 17, move 5 to the other side, becomes minus 5. So we have 2x equals 12, and x becomes what? 6. Correct? So this is how you solve word problems with linear equation. See you in the next video.